Okay, first off, tell me your opinions on the thumbnail. But we're here for Outcome Memories, a game on Roblox that's being talked about a lot, and for good reason. We have good characters, we have one killer for now, and 0.2 is on the way sometime. But in this video, today we're doing an Amy guide. And well, Amy is a good character. Now is she S tier? Depends on the scenario. But she is overall like an A tier in my eyes. And today, I'm gonna give y'all some tips and even explain some of the abilities of Amy, basically, and just give you maybe tips that you maybe don't know about. I'll have timestamps, or not timestamps, chapters in the video, so in case you want to go to certain parts, then go on ahead. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and let's do this. The almighty hammer. Amy has a hammer. That's like the most iconic thing about her. And this hammer has two things it can do. One, if you press, the button to use it, you can actually stun the killer for a few seconds. And all you need to do is just run into the killer. Not only that, it has another variation of it. I call this the hammer bounce. Basically, it's literally the hammer move, but all you have to do is jump in the air and basically land on the killer or the ground. If you hit the killer, it will stun him and you'll go flying like far. But if you miss, you will just go flying. It's a pretty useful move as it is both like a stun, but also mobility, which can get you some crazy heights, which in the tip section I'll give more about. But for right now, that's how the hammer works. Essentially just run into the killer, or jump on the killer, and that's how it works basically. This is probably the most simple kit that Amy has beside the hammer. The hammer throw is really simple in concept. You take the hammer and you throw it. If you hit the killer, it will stun them. Either send them flying in the air or just kind of make them fall over. Doesn't really matter. But if you do miss with the hammer, it will lay on the ground and you can either pick it up or wait about like 9-8 seconds before it comes back to you. Don't question how it does that. Okay, I'll explain the cards because you've been seeing them the entire video and you're probably wondering what they are and what they actually do. First of all, the world. It allows you to see every survivor and the killer, but you lose 2 speed. The fool gives you more speed, but your stun duration is shorter, which yeah, something. Strength gives you more stun time. Emperor makes you a bit faster, but also take less damage. The sun heals you, which it got nerfed like a while back, so it's still good though. And the worst of them all, the moon, because it literally makes you blind, essentially. It basically just makes you where you can't see anything, and the problem with that, obviously, that you can't see the killer. Or heck, you can't see anything you're walking around, so if you're walking somewhere and you fall off the map, then that's on you, I guess, because the moon card sucks. If you ever get it, just get it out. You don't want it because it's one of the worst cards in the game, easily by far. Okay, this is the tip section, and basically I'm going to give you some tips for Amy. I'll probably give a few since I'm not the best Amy player, and plus it's not too much to talk about her, but I'll give you some tips. So tip number 1 is if you get a bad card like, the moon, then just wait out until you can reroll again. Because if you go try and find the killer and you have the moon, things don't end well for you. So I advise you, if you get the moon, just stay in the back lines. Like, obviously try to help your team by hammer throwing, but do not try to get the killer's attention when you're mostly blind by the moon. Okay, a good tip I can also give you is using your hammer for mobility. I don't see enough Amy players do this because, well, they just like to run up the killer and then hit him. Which is fine, I mean, the whole point is to just hit the killer with it. But there are some areas in the map where you can, like, bounce off with the hammer and reach areas that the killer has a hard time reaching. Unless they use, like, an ability to get you. Which, especially during Last Man Standing, you should probably do that instead of trying to hit the killer. But hey, if you gotta hit the killer, hit the killer. But if you have a way of like, you know, hitting the hammer and then bouncing over to some like balcony or some area, then do that, because that could probably save you more than the hammer hit could ever actually could, you know? But other than that, move on. The last tip I can give you is that if you have the card that is like the sun with the fire on both ends, you can heal other people with that. Now obviously you're probably like, that's not a tip. Well, yeah, me explaining what it does isn't a tip, but if you have like teammates that are low on HP and let's say it's rage mode or the killer's not actively targeting you, then just stick to your teammates, because not only you're having extra protection around yourself in case you fumble, you also can heal them over time because they heal 1 HP every time they're near you. Now yes, they do get blinded over time, but as long as they don't, you know, get blinded and the killer next to you guys, then yeah, if you have this card, stay near your teammates and heal them, because, you know, you're like a secondary cream, kinda. I know this video is really short, but hey, I'm making these tips just to help people out there, you know? The main point of the tips, or the guides, is just help people out there. You can even be the best player or the worst player, and I just hope that maybe this helps you out when you play the game, you know? But other than that, I am out, and have a great day.